we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Randy Underwood, your Emerald Ambassador, and this is Allison Caldwell, Senior Ruby Ambassador as well. Many of you guys are under her. And we are going to just kind of go back to the basics here today. If you're new, this is going to be really, really helpful for you. And if you're not new, it's probably going to be a little helpful too, as we're kind of talking about some changes we're making even within the team. I need you to switch the screen, sorry.
It isn't. Oh, there. See, now it's going to go like twice. Good grief. I am technology is not my friend today. I apologize.
Oh, we're fine. Okay. So here's our team, and I mean, a lot of you guys are new, so you guys probably aren't quite sure about who are the uplines above. So this is actually really fun to see. And honestly, I would say if you don't know, I would take a screenshot of this. So you can go ahead and find these people and probably follow them, I think would be a really great idea. Brandy Walker, hopefully you guys are friends with her already. If you're not, definitely friend request her. She is my diamond upline. Everyone above her is a diamond. So we've got starting with Celeste Gwynn to Rosalind Payne, Andrea Mitchell, Ellen Ford, then Angie Zumwalt. And I think you guys, some of you guys who've been on our trips know, have met a few of these ladies. Julia Carty, who signed up Brandy, and then Brandy Walker, who I signed under. And then obviously if you're on Allison's team, then there's Allison or whoever else's team you're underneath me. But everyone on this call is underneath me in some way. So yeah, these are our wonderful ladies. They've been extremely helpful and even helping me with getting to where I am. And so they will probably be running some calls, of course, like I said, Brandy Walker, and you'll probably see some calls with Julia Carty and even some events and stuff that we do together with them. So Allison, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
No, not necessarily. They're great people to follow. Right now, I'm just wondering why it's not switching the slide. It's just beeping at me. No, okay, there we go.
There we go. Okay. So finding your why, that is one of the most important things that you can do. That's actually the first thing. Once I decided that I was going to share, and I wasn't really sure why I was sharing at first, I thought I was just like, it'd be fun to get my products paid for. And then once I got there, that was one of the first things they talked about. Like, what is your why? Why are you sharing? What makes you cry? Like, what is it that makes you want to continue to do this? And why do you have this passion on your heart, right? And so that's something you want to do, is make sure that you're digging deep, and we can kind of ask some questions too to help you out with that if you're struggling with what your why is and what you're wanting out of this. And your why is going to change throughout your journey. My why has changed tremendously throughout. I started off, like I said, with just wanting my products covered. I just thought, it'd be nice to get them covered. Then I thought, it'd be nice to make maybe an extra $500 a month. And then after that, and I made it there, it was like, it'd be nice to make an extra 1,000. And, it just kind of kept changing a little bit. It'd be nice to get on that trip and, hang out with my friends. So I just got to the point where, right now where I'm at, my big dreams are, I want to have lots of land, and I want to have, I want to be able to not retire my husband, because he's obviously retiring in the military no matter what in 3 years, but I want to be able to let him retire and not have to him have to get a job immediately and do something he doesn't love because he has to work. So my goal is to get to the point where, being a diamond, and he can just take that whole year off or however long he wants off to figure out what it is that he wants to do. So I don't know if you want to share your why or anything else real fast before we switch over to the next.
Yeah, originally my why was same thing, to get my products covered, because I knew that they worked. And then I was like, this isn't in my budget, like at all. So my why was to get those covered. And then my why was to have some breathing room in our monthly budget, because there was zero. And y'all, when I say zero, I mean, we were charging bills sometimes and then picking which bills we were paying. Like, it was rough. We were in a lot of debt from, all the healing journey that we did with our son, worth every penny, but it was a lot. And so my goal at that point was to create some breathing room in our budget. And I remember calling Randy and crying when I hit that. And I was like, there's money left. I don't know what to do. I was so excited. So it's changed and evolved some since then, but that was what really got me to step out of my comfort zone and talk to people. So
Awesome. I love your why. Yeah, mine was honestly, I was like, it'd be nice to have extra money to travel. Like I didn't have like necessarily need the money, but I just wanted, we lived in Italy at the time and it was like, let's travel as much as we possibly can without having to worry about getting into our savings. So,
yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to actually go over the virtual office and I'm going to actually flip the share screen really fast to, hold on.
Do you need me to stop so you can start?
Stop, continue. Yeah, I actually did it myself. All right, we're going to share mine really quickly. You guys see my virtual office, hopefully. You see it, Allison?
Yep.
All right. So real quickly, obviously this is your dashboard. I want to point one thing out specifically. Funny thing is I was talking to Allison yesterday and she was like, there's a calendar on the front page. Guys, this is our calendar right here, this big red square. Anything Plexus has going on, and if you guys are confused and have no idea when they're doing the Why Plexus Why Now or anything else, you click right here and it brings up the calendar, okay? English, Spanish, whatever, depending on what country you're in. And here it is, community huddle, book club. It shares everything right here. So if there's ever confusion or you're like, wait a minute, when is this? When is that? Trust me, I do that all the time. Just go straight to the website and you can find it right here. Okay. So that's a big one. Okay, now. Okay. Obviously I love looking at my perks right here and click into my portal from here, but you can obviously access it from going to my account as well. Your performance tracker is really, really fun when there's convention or leaders retreat contests going on. Gives you extra motivation for some fun prizes that you can win to look at. So those are just the few things that I look at from the dashboard. And then I usually click here too to get to my points and rank up. But again, you can access it over here too. So if you go to my business, you've got VIP referrals, new IVP customers, fast start, perk reports, new brand ambassadors, all this. This is all of your business stuff where you're going to mostly be accessing. Here's where your commission summary is. And when you click there in your commission summary, and if you guys want to know the breakdown, there will be a sheet there, an Excel sheet where you can break it down and see exactly where all the money came from. Bonuses, welcome packs, whatever it is, it'll tell you exactly. So if there's ever a question, it'll break it there. So my favorite place to go, of course, is always the points and rank up. I love going here and sorting through. And it's something it's extremely important if you guys are building a business and you're wanting to go to that next rank. It's extremely important to really track your stuff daily to kind of get an idea of your growth for even the next month. So you should be really looking at your virtual office daily to check things, to check if people are turning off their subscriptions, which you can obviously see right here, to check if people are, their orders are canceling. You'll see stuff like that, credit card decline, things like that. And then that way you can kind of go through and ask them. A lot of the times people don't even know their credit card declined. So it's a good idea as soon as you see that to go reach out to them and let them know. I also like to look at things through the join date and kind of just seeing by the day right here. And then, yeah, I mean, you can sort however which way you want. And then of course you can even sort by VIP versus brand ambassador. So this is points and rank up, and this is where your VIP customers and brand ambassadors are going to be. But if you go to PV, this is where your customers are going to be, your retail customers at this point. So if you, obviously you can see that I'm the only one that's ordered so far this month. I don't really have a lot of people that order retail. Most of my customers were always preferred customers before they made the switch. So but these are all people from the past that were retail customers. So that's where you would go and find them. Fast Start is a really cool place. If you have someone on your team who is wanting to go Fast Start, like someone who just signed up, they're going to show up right here and you can track them and kind of see how many days they have left to get to that next rank. So this is a great place to go as well if you're trying to help someone with their Fast Start. New VIP customers. This is another place you can access the new signups of VIP customers. I don't usually go here because I can't see who the people are under easily from here. So I like to look at it underneath the points and rank up and put it in order of the join date. But you can look in either place. They're in both places. VIP referrals. Now this is a really, really cool one. Allison and I were just looking at yesterday as well. What I love about this is you can actually see how much they have in product credit right now, right over here. And you'll see the ones that are at 0 are because they literally just referred someone, so they haven't gotten paid yet, or they haven't even, what probably happened is they haven't decided yet if they want the product credit or the cash to upgrade. So it's at 0 at the moment, but it'll be there soon. But if you guys click under here, you'll see the person they actually referred right here. See, and you'll also see that it tells the level they're at, and who they're under. So this is an example of obviously one of Jill's people that had signed up, this girl Molly. Right now Molly's under Jill because this person hasn't decided yet if they're going to upgrade or just stay as a VIP customer. And if they stay VIP, this person will continue to stay under Jill. But if they decide to upgrade, they will go underneath Aaron, who actually referred them. Okay. And then there's the training center. You've got the resource library, rank up roadmap, new ambassador training. This is a great place to start for training right here. Now, VIP customers can't have access to any of this, guys. So they have to upgrade or obviously refer someone first, then upgrade in order to access this training. But it's great training to go ahead and click through. It's got it by day, 1, 2, 3, resources. It's incredible. And just obviously tell them to take their time going through all of that. Incentives and recognition. This is where your contests are going to be. And they actually have like the last quarter, 2 quarters actually, that you can kind of look through. Sharing Plexus, same thing. Kind of just go through here, look at the tools, look at the products and the print stuff. This is my Plexus print. This is actually the store that they have. So they have a lot of cute stuff as well. And then the last thing I just want to cover really quickly with the back office, and Allison, if you need to add in something in the end, go for it. But Help Center. So on your phone, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom to get to the Help Center. As you can see, it's like right here, but it's also right here on the left side. Anytime you guys have a question and you're like, I probably can figure this out myself, before you go ahead and ask in the chat, just go here and do a search for it. Like, I don't know, close ambassador account, we'll say. Steps to cancel a brand ambassador membership. Okay, we're gonna click there. All right, and we're gonna find the info we need. Here we go, intent to cancel forms. And then you click on that, and there you go, you found it. If you ever have trouble with that, let us know. Jump into the chat. I always want you guys to jump in and ask questions, whatever it is that you guys need. But I always tell people, try to look yourself, see if you can find it first. They have so much in the Help Center. I absolutely love it. So Allison, I don't know if there's anything that I missed there you wanted to add, but.
Not necessarily, because some of it's going to cover in the next one. So let me get back over
Perfect.
to our.
And if you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat while we're doing this, or in the end, we'll give you guys like 10 minutes to ask questions if anyone has questions.
Okay. So yeah, that was just kind of what was going on in the.
Sunset, y'all.
What's that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you had a question. I was going to answer it. It's all good. So I want to talk a little bit about posting intentionally, because a lot of people, I feel like you get started and you kind of stop and go, I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm posting. And it's a little overwhelming. I know it was for me, but I mean, when I started, it was really different. We were posting like 5 times a day. And so be glad you're not coming up with 5 posts every day. But when we're posting now, we want to do so in a way that attracts people to us, and we want to be very intentional with it. And that doesn't mean you can't copy and paste some posts. We'll talk about that. But we just want to come at this with a purpose, because this is like your storefront. So you're going to want to make a list of 20 people, and that's kind of 20 people that maybe God's laid them on your heart that they need the business, maybe they need the products, whatever that is. If you know 20 people that you're really wanting to talk to about this, you make that list, and maybe you add them to your favorites list on Facebook so that you're seeing when they post, so that you're commenting, you're interacting, you know what's going on in their life. And you want to be commenting and liking on their posts. I mean, the whole point is it's a social business. We need to be present on social media, right? But we want to be doing it in a way that attracts people to us. So we want to be very careful about, putting negativity out there or getting in like online arguments, which is a big thing these days. I honestly unfollowed some of the people that were constantly posting things like that because I was like, I just don't want to be in that space when I'm online. So that's kind of why we need to look at attraction marketing, because we don't want people to make that decision about us and be like, oh, they only talk about this, or they're not talking positively. I don't really get anything out of their posts, and then they unfollow. So we want to be attracting people there. We want to pick like the person that we're thinking about. Let's say, you know, somebody's talking about their mood all the time, and they're just always down, and they're always tired, and they're stressed, and they're anxious, and all these things. And then you can stop and think, okay, what is it that they're going to relate to? They're going to relate to testimonies that include Vital Biome, testimonies, you know, where that they're talking about things like depression, anxiety, stuff like that. So you want to post things that they relate to, whether it's information or stories, but information tells and stories sell. People relate to the stories. So when we're using, like, let's say it's a testimony, you never want to hit share on anybody else's post, because what people are going to do on their Facebook is look at that original post and go, oh, well, you know, Jenny shared that, so I'm going to click on Jenny and ask her about these products. And they don't realize that it's something that you're sharing necessarily. So be very careful about doing that. We always say, don't put your website or pricing up like right off the bat and just say, yeah, here's my website, go check it out. Because people don't know what they're looking for. They don't know what's going to help them. We're the problem solvers. And if you're too new to be a problem solver, that's what your upline, that's what your sponsor is for. Let us help problem solve with you. So you're making this post, you've got your person in mind, you make the post and somebody likes it, message them. If you're not sure what to say, again, reach out to us. Let us help you with these things. Typically you're going to say something like, thank you so much for, you know, liking my post. Thank you so much for commenting, whatever they did. Thank you. I appreciate the support. You know, would you be open to checking out some more information about this? It's so amazing for everybody. I mean, it's simple, basic, keep things short and sweet is kind of my favorite thing. Obviously we want personal posts, just as important as Plexus posts, because your friends are your friends because of you, not because of Plexus, even though we know that, you know, pretty much everybody on our friends list needs it and can benefit from it. They're our friends because we're friends. So they need to know about your life. They need to know what you're doing. They need to know other things, not just Plexus. They need to see how Plexus fits into your life. So that's very important to have a balance there, because they're your friends before they are interested in Plexus at all. So when we are making posts, best times are like first thing in the morning, middle of the day, in the evening. That's when social media is very active. Stories you can kind of do all day long. You can use graphics in stories. You can, you know, that's where you can talk about other things or be more specific to Plexus. You know, if there's a sale, if there's anything like, that's where all those things go in the stories. You want your news feed to be very, very clean, good presentation. I always say, go back and scroll through the last 10 or 15 posts you made. How far apart are they? What do they look like? Does it look like something that you would look at that person's page and go, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to follow this person. Think about that. That's your storefront. You're either open or you're not. Like, you don't want to put up a sign that says, we'll think about helping you. Like, you want it to be something that people want to come in, right? And you want it to be inviting. And I did put up a little social media post thing. I think y'all can see my cursor. I did put that social media post calendar up there just as far as ideas. I'm pretty sure we have that in the chat, don't we, Randy? I think that's in our Q&A chat. If it's not, we can drop it in there.
I don't know if it's been consistently shared in there. It might be in there, it might not. So yeah, definitely drop it in case.
Yeah, we can drop it in there after the call's over. But a lot of times it's good to just have some ideas. Maybe it's not on the same days, it doesn't really matter, but just kind of have some direction with what you're putting out on social media. As far as your winning day, did you want to talk about that, Randy? Or do you want me to keep going?
You can continue.
Okay. So winning day is really just kind of getting the things done that are going to move your business forward. It's not about who signs up. It's not about what's happening. It's about doing the things that you need to do that are building your trust. It's building your presence. It's building up your belief, all of these kind of things. And you want to be doing this every, well, we say every weekday, really. As long as you're doing it like five times a week, that's a really good, full growth thing. I've got a copy of the winning day worksheet in here. Again, we can drop that in the chat when we're done, so y'all don't have to stress that it's only on here. But this, again, it's very, very intentional. You want to be getting social. You want to, post and comment and like things and talk to people. If you're following maybe a hashtag on Instagram or following people that you don't necessarily know, you can go and interact with them as well. And then you want to be making your post, because that will tell the algorithms all of these people that you just connected with need to see this next post. So you're kind of like priming the pump, you're warming up the social media algorithms. So you want to put a post out, spend some time business building. You want to think of the 3 people that, would be amazing at this. Think of 3 people and, you want to reach out to them. We have scripts, we have ideas of what to say, but no matter what you do, change the wording if you need to make it sound like you, because nothing will send somebody running away faster than making it sound like it's just a canned response or a canned reach out. Even if you've talked to the person, if it sounds canned, they go, ugh. Because let's be real, none of us want to hear it, right? So make sure these things sound like you. If you're not the one that's going to be like, hey girl, then don't say it. So be genuine when you're talking to people, compliment them. Like, you're so sweet, you're so genuine, and you have such an influence over the people around you. You could be really good at this. Have you ever thought of doing what I do? Like, just a very simple message that compliments people. Even if they say no, you complimented them and you planted a seed. We spend some time on some follow-ups, whether that is continuing relationship building, whether that's answering questions, kind of reaching back out like, hey, I know we talked a little bit about this and I haven't heard from you. Did you have some questions? That kind of stuff. Promoting using the third-party validation. Let me say this really clearly. You do not have to be an expert. You don't have to know all the things. We have videos, we have things that we can send to people, and that makes it easy for them and it makes it easy for you. So use those third-party things. It not only is it validation for them, but it's easier for everybody. Again, stories, posting on your day, and having some accountability with the people that are around you. I'm going to move on to the next one because it says we're down under 10 minutes. So wrapping it up a little bit. Send, share, and invite that's kind of what Randy was saying under the sharing tab. There's some things in there. There's send, share, invite training under the training tab when she was showing you in the virtual office. That has some really, really good information in there. We like to do add tag message. We'll do another training on that, in a lot more detail. So I'm just going to kind of skim past that. As far as we want to be adding people to our info page, the Love Your Guts page, we want to tag them in some things that they'll relate to, and we want to message them and let them know, hey, I found this, I thought you would really benefit from it. I've invited you to this group and I'm going to tag you in that, because this is what we've been talking about. And I think this would be really useful for you. Again, we have some scripts, got to make everything sound like you. We have this new kind of rotating schedule of what we have available. So there's always something, like when you're reaching out to people and you're messaging them, you're sharing videos, you're doing all the things, there's always something to invite them to. That's what the invite part of that is. We've got the messenger events like we ran just before this call. That'll be a couple times a month on a Thursday evening, right before we do our training. And then we'll have a call on a Tuesday evening, the following Tuesday for like stories of hope with testimonies, with some information, things like that. So those will kind of change up a little bit as we go, but there's always something to invite. And there's that calendar that Randy showed you guys of all the corporate things. There's always something going on that we can invite them to and plug them in so that they have that support. And utilizing three-way chats with your sponsor, huge. Super, super helpful, especially when you're new, because I think one of the most intimidating things when you're new is, I don't know how to answer their questions, right? That like, I knew a ton about gut health and I didn't know how to answer anybody's questions about plexus. So I was like, how do I know all these things? And I'm still asking Randy like 57 questions a day. But guess what? We would rather you ask us questions so that we can help you learn, because you're learning and they're learning at the same time. So when you're in a three-way chat, then you're allowing your sponsor to kind of lead that conversation and ask the questions, and you're learning how that conversation flows. So those are so, so, so helpful all the way around. Also sending samples, amazing. We have the Engage app. We've been doing that IPA all week long. So we have that app. You can send stuff out from there. There's videos in there. There's tons of stuff. If you've been following along with that IPA challenge, it's been really helpful. If not, go back to Monday and check on it on the Lead with Love page, because it's been really, really informational. So that's most of the send, share, and invite stuff. That's just kind of the basics of how we're reaching out when I'm talking about reaching out to people. This is a kind of a good summary of how we're doing all that. And then of course, at the end, it's don't give up, y'all. Don't give up. People they stop asking and they stop talking and they go, they didn't want what I need, or they didn't need what I'm offering. They didn't want it, whatever. And they just stop asking. But guess what? Your friend was probably busy. Maybe something happened. Maybe their dog was sick. Maybe their husband got in an accident. Maybe something, you never know exactly what happened, because they may not be posting it on Facebook, and maybe it's not somebody you talk to every day. But if you're continuing a relationship and you're talking with them, then see where it says only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. That doesn't mean you're going to say, hey, you want to get plexus again? Hey, you want to get plexus again? Hey, you want to get, don't do that. This is relationship building. This is problem solving, but it's continually talking with people about it. Continually talking with people about them and what they're doing in their life and how we can be of help. So I don't know what else you want to add to that, Randy, but that was mostly what I had there.
Yeah. So, I mean, the last thing I just want to say is, when Allison was sharing about winning day, just make sure if you guys do have the time, I understand if you can't jump on the power half hours during the middle of the day if you're working, but Brandy is going to be doing ones in the evenings as well. So we will make sure to share those if those are going to work better for some of you. But I will say it makes it a lot easier, a lot better, a good time to ask questions. I know Jennifer has been jumping on them really regularly and has actually grown because of it. So it's extremely important to do these with us. And same thing with, connecting in the community, making sure that you're doing the things as far as connecting in our chat and getting to know other people on your team, because we are going to be the ones that are going to be there to encourage you and support you and cheer you on as time goes on. And just inviting. The best way to do this is, like Allison said, is adding them to Love Your Guts, inviting them to events. You may have to follow up for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years with them until they sign up. It happens. I mean, trust me, guys, there's someone I've been literally talking to for 6.5 years now, still hasn't signed up, but she's always interested. So she'll be here soon.
Well, I mean, just for that reference, and Nicole won't mind me sharing it. Y'all have seen her kind of blowing up. We've talked for years and she was always interested, but the timing wasn't right and other things were happening. Years, y'all. You never know. You never know when it's the right time for people. So,
and don't get disappointed with the people that do quit. Either love on them, sometimes timing's bad for them too. They always come back. I'm telling you, majority of them have come back to me that have quit on me through the years too. So, yeah. But we have 3 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions before we get, I don't want to get cut off. So, and if you do, we might have to answer them after the fact. It's great seeing all your faces. I'm so glad to have these back regularly again.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, we're going to be having these for now every other Thursday, same time right now, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I'm like sitting there trying to think the time for Ann, 4 p.m. We're in California. Yeah. So they'll be regularly. You guys let us know what you guys need help with. You guys have questions. We'll basically do trainings based off of that. And hopefully we'll have even more trainings. But again, Plexus has lots of trainings too. Like Allison had mentioned, like tons of them. So we've got a whole calendar for that as well, if you want to jump on those. But we love you guys to be on these, so that way we can connect and get to know each other better.
Heck yeah. It's not just network as far as out the network that you're, looking at prospects and that kind of, it's not just that network. It's also our team network.
Absolutely.
Network marketing. It's all the networks.
You're welcome, ladies. It's great seeing you guys.
Thanks for jumping on,
joining
y'all.
us tonight.